This is the day that our people have been waiting for. Millions in the countryside, others in the civil protection of civilian sites, POCs, in Juba, Malakal, Wau, Benteo, and Bor, millions of refugees in Sudan, Uganda, Ethiopia, Kenya, Egypt, DRC, Central Africa, and in the wider diaspora. And of course, myself, who have been marooned and stuck in Juba. We have all been looking forward to this graduation to happen. Before I get excited about the day, let me thank the organizing committee for making this graduation possible. I know the teams worked day and night in the last 5 days. Allow me also to thank President Museveni for coming and for his support. Transitional security arrangements was the most important agenda for His Excellency President Museveni. As such, he initiated creation of an extra security mechanism called the Security Supervision Mechanism. Mr. President, you are welcome. I also would like to thank His Excellency General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the President of Sudan Transitional Sovereign Council, and Chair of IGAD for support, and also for breaking deadlocks when we got stuck in the implementation process of this agreement. We also give thanks to President Burhan and his team. Actually, special thanks for allowing food supplies from his country by land and river to reach the training centers despite the restrictions due to the war in Ukraine. I would also like to thank all IGAD member states that supported and continue to support the implementation of this agreement. I would like to thank the implementation mechanisms that have worked for years to ensure this agreement is implemented. And these include the CITISAM, the RJMAC, the IGAD Special Envoy Office, for the work they did for this day to happen. I also would like to thank the international community, Troika, IGAD, IGAD Partners Forum, EU, and China for their support and contributions. At this juncture, I would also wish to congratulate and thank our President, President Salva Kiir, for making this day to happen, the graduation of phase 1 of necessary unified forces. The transitional security arrangements is the backbone of this agreement. Without it, the peace will not hold. You will recall the necessary unified forces that we are graduating today were meant to be graduated during pre-transitional period of 9 months after the signature of the agreement in Addis on July 12, September 2018, which means we should have graduated these forces by April 2019. However, after Rome, when there was an effort that a government was to be formed, we had to go back to Addis for extension of 6 months in a hope that these forces would be graduated and the number of states would be agreed upon. In November 2019, the UN Security Council had to come to Juba to push again for the formation of the Artigono. But since none of these two critical issues were resolved, no creation of unified forces, no agreement on number of states, we had to go to Entebbe. And in Entebbe, we secured the second extension of 100 days of the pre-transitional period. In February 15th, 2020 in Addis, we struck an agreement on the number of states. We reverted the country to former 10 states. Thus, on February 22nd, 2020, the presidency was sworn in and the transitional period of 36 months started. We are today graduating these forces 5 months and 8 days before the end of the transition. And by the way, this is the only first phase of the necessary unified forces. It is also just a little over half of the necessary unified forces that were agreed for phase 1. I believe you know why I'm excited. I think you, the forces before us today, particularly those who came from opposition forces, share my excitement and joy. I know over 200 of your comrades have died in the 18 training centers. Some died because of disease and no medication. Some died because of hunger, as food was not available. I also know many of you have not seen your families for all the years you spent in training centers. Today I congratulate you for your endurance and perseverance. You have undergone a serious test of political will. You have shown your will for peace and commitment to ensure stability in this country prevails. The sacrifice you have made is worth it. Our country from now on shall have a unified national army. We have called it, agreed, as South Sudan People's Defense Force. You shall have a national police service, a national security service, a national prison service, a national wildlife force, and a national civil defense force, all reflecting our character, our nationalities, and our ethnic groups. I believe a new era has started. I want also to underscore the discipline you have exercised in the training centers. There was no single report about any violation of the ceasefire between yourselves when the contrary was happening outside the training centers. 15 serious violations had happened between opposing forces outside the training centers. You were not tempted at all to join your comrades who were engaged in the unnecessary loss of lives. I congratulate you for this discipline. I trust you will protect the Constitution, the territorial integrity of our country, and its people and their property. I want you to take this discipline to your deployment locations. We want you, besides doing your security work, to be a productive force. You must be engaged in modern agriculture. Teach our people new ideas. In road building, it is not only engineering corps that does that. Soldiers do such work. Be engaged in the long vision of creating a railway in our country and building airports and also improving on our national parks and games so that we can earn hard currency from our animal resources. The representative of the civil society talk about your low pay. We are cognizant of it. All our men and women in uniform are making ends meet through going to the forest cutting wood to make charcoal. We are aware of that. We are aware that the pay is low. And by the way, I don't think that it is you alone. Even we in the podium here, we have low salaries. But for us to raise the salaries, we must act together. We must act together, combat corruption, so that you have a raise in your salaries. We be transparent in what we do. And if you, the unified forces, as a nucleus of the new forces, lead the way, the rest shall follow. I hope the President will address his statement, this issue, in his statement. Your comrades that will join phase 2 may only spend 4 months or 5 months in the training centers. They have also patiently waited for you to be graduated. To them outside, in the cantonment, in the barracks, they're excited just like us here. They know that their turn is coming, and it will be a better time for them. You have taken the brunt, and you have passed the test. With the disciplines you have shown in the training centers, I'm confident that the country and our people will be secured and peaceful, and a prosperous state shall be realized. Elections, which is the end product of the agreement, will be conducted on the 22nd December 2024 if we go according to the roadmap. I believe South Sudan will have free, fair, democratic elections. And you will be responsible for ensuring this. You know, we had to extend the transition period. If only 5 months and 8 days are the remaining ones, we need time to train phase 2 of unified forces. We also need time to work on the Constitution. So that is why we extended 24 months. The transition is extended for that time. By that, we would have implemented all the aspects of the peace agreement, and we'll have a new state that unites its people, finally, I want to call upon our partners whose confidence had been shaken by the slow implementation of this agreement. I want to call upon them to continue support the implementation of this agreement and the roadmap. مبروك عليكم دور جاي هنتكلم عربي لأن هيكون إحنا برانا شكرا جزيلا